Good evening. That sounded really aggressive. Good evening. I was at work today and I was talking to a girl and her dad that had come in to fix a problem with their phone. And we were talking and having a conversation and everything. And then there was a slight lull. And then we started...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if they started talking at the same time.
And then Are you good?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we started talking at the exact same time again. And this has happened to me over a multitude of different occasions. And I've always wondered why. Why does that happen? So I decided to do a little bit of looking into it and couldn't find a single bit of data to lighten the issue for me, or to shed some light on the issue, I should say. So I figured I would just kind of my own theories out there to see if anything resonated with you guys. So what I think happened, I know that statistically every 7 minutes during a conversation there is a lull where nobody is talking. And this could be in a group and this could be with 2 people, 3 people, whatever. But every 7 minutes there's statistically, on average, a silence. And that's all well and good, but what about when the 2 people start talking again? Or when somebody's trying to say something and they can't think of the words that they want, and then the other person that they're trying to talk to starts talking after a few seconds of silence. Right as the other person starts speaking, the other person suddenly thinks of what they wanted to say and starts talking again. Why does that happen? I have no idea, to be honest. I have no irrefutable proof. I have no research or solid materials on this. I think part of it has to do with, at least when you're trying to explain something, and then you forget what you're going to say, and then there's the lull, and then the other person starts talking, and you're like, I've suddenly got it. My brain just decided, oh, yay. I think that it has a lot to do with a subconscious desire to stay the one having the floor. Or it's like, hey, kitty. Or it's like a subconscious fear that you'll be overlooked or not heard, or that the other person doesn't think that what you have to say is important. So it's like an instantaneous mental process that when your ears hear the sound of another person starting to talk, then your brain magically comes up with whatever you wanted to say because you don't want to lose that chance to speak. You don't want to lose the opportunity to be heard. And I think that can also apply to when just 2 people are having a conversation and there's a lull. Because if there's a lull, yeah, I guess it could be one or 2 things. First one could be the same thing as I talked about earlier. You don't want to lose the floor. You don't want to lose the floor. The other part of it might be that when a guy or girl are talking to each other,
when they're uncomfortable with any kind of silence between their verbal exchange, if either one is quiet for any amount of time, they feel like they have to fill in that space with something. Does that make any sense at all?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Those are my theories on why this is. There's also the only other factual reason, I guess you could say, that I could find on the internet about why people always seem to start talking. Now, at least to me, like I've noticed this happening to me a lot, but when I asked the girl if she'd ever noticed that, she's like, no. So I don't know if it's just something that happens to me, but I have a feeling it's something that's a lot more widespread than just me. So when I went and did a search for why people start talking at the same time, the first link that comes up is a link to math.stackexchange.com. And the guy goes into a whole mathematical lecture, not a lecture, but like a summary or an explanation that means absolutely makes no sense to me. It's all gibberish. About how just the statistics of probability that 2 people will come to a lull in the conversation, like the whole 7 minutes thing, although the 2 are not related. I don't even know if that first 7-minute thing is actual. I just know I read it like years ago, like 7 years ago, and it makes sense to me. Sounds good to me. But he goes into statistics and probability mathematics that, as I said before, make just go. They don't go like this. They go like in like the size of. I don't understand it at all. So if you want to, I can put that link in the description for all of those out there who are way more gifted with numbers and mathematics than I am. But the ones who aren't, be happy with this solution, because there's nothing else out there. Just kidding. You can do some more research on it if you want to, but I looked and tried several different keywords, and I could not find, not even on Reddit, although I'm not the biggest Reddit expert, I could not find a topic or an article or anything else that talked about this issue. So maybe it is just me, and I'm strange. Anyway, if you find the answer to it, or something more factual than just this guy's opinion, after you're done having a splendiferous day, night, morning, weekend, life, post your theories in the comments.